Okay, now I have got to keep this thing from rolling. And this is going to be a super hard trick. And that's just going to happen fast. We stopped by Aspen Street Coffee, which you can see on the other corner there in Fruta, to pick up coffee, of course, and little sweet treats to get started on our journey. We're going to drive out to Westwater and pick up the second leg of the Kokopelli Trail for vans. Eventually, could all be done in one journey, but because we're pioneering it, we've broke it up into segments. This is the Westwater exit. It's the first exit westbound on I-70, and it's also, well, oil and gas all over the place. Nothing else here. But it's the kind of the beginning of the second leg. So we're just going to drive down a little side road, not very far, a couple of miles maybe, and we're going to pick up the second leg and start the second leg of the Kokopelli Trail for vans. So the Kokopelli Trail went off to the right there a bit, and we've decided we're going to go back on the stage one or leg one version first, a little ways. So we're going to go back and look at these overlook dispersed camping sites and see what's out here, because we actually haven't been out to these dispersed camping sites out here. Ledge ahead here, and Katya just goes right over it. She's getting good at that now. So we are 2 weeks from getting our van lifted at Van Works in Fort Collins, Colorado. They do great work there. We could air down, of course, and soften this ride. But then we lose clearance, and just don't want to lose clearance. So we'll take a bumpier ride. The van interior is built for that. If you haven't seen our build out video, it's on our channel. And if you're curious, then you may want to check out how we designed it for off-roading and for just these kind of conditions. Nice, there's a toilet here. I still prefer Juniper, but you know, toilets are okay. Okay, we're out here at Bitter Creek Overlook Campgrounds. These are dispersed camping, but the BLM did put in some fire rings, and they have a few tables. There's a nice toilet, and somewhere out here, this road goes over and connects with the Kokopelli Trail, which is in the distance, somewhere in the distance. So we just took this, we wanted to come back and check out these dispersed campsites. And as you can see, there's big views, really big views from these sites. And you're right on the edge of this amazing bluff. Okay, this is the trail here. And it's pretty bouncy. So this is not the Kokopelli Trail. This is just the Overlook Camps, the Bitter Creek Overlook Campsites area, and it's a side trip. And Katya's down here checking out what she has to drive, and it is certainly very ledgy out here. And this is almost certainly a big gnarly drop where Katya is there, as it drops off this this part of the sort of a mesa here. Oh yeah, this is this is not our thing. Yeah, and it's looking worse down there. I mean, there is a line here to the right. We could drop right here. Let me show you. I'm going to go walk down here and then turn around. And in the distance we can see it, but it's clearly like a jeep trail. And looking back this way, it's, you know, off there, well, to the left now, there is a way to get the van down it, but there's a very good probability going down through this that it's only going to get worse. So we're not going to do this. We're going to go back over, connect with Kokopelli Trail, and take that route. So now we're back on the Kokopelli Trail after a little side jaunt out to the Bitter Creek Campgrounds Overlook place. And now it looks like a freeway to us compared to all those ledges back there. Okay, it's not all freeway out here. We've got some ledges. Nothing serious so far. We're still on the edge of that big bluff that looks down on leg one of Kokopelli Trail. Okay, this is the Kokopelli symbol. He's a little Native American rock art character, playing a flute, kind of dancing, having a good time. He's just cheerful. And it's so that's, you know, the Kokopelli Trail. There's Kokopelli, little guy there, and you'll see him in that jewelry a lot, that's for sure. Okay, a nice series of ledges through here. You know, a little tricky. Okay, we're in some ledgy shit here. And it looks like the workaround is to the left. But that doesn't look all that pleasant either. But that's kind of a big drop off. So go left and, yeah, stay far left. We probably could do that, drop that ledge. But this might be a little easier. Yeah, we could have come down it. Pretty slow there. The bounce is what caused us to hit bottom. And this is going to be a little challenging. Hold on a sec. I'm going to get out and spot you on this. Okay, Katya's going to hug that juniper. We don't like to hug the junipers because they're rough on paint. But in this case, it's looking good. Yeah, straighten your wheels out, Kat. Straighter. Good, good, good. Very good. Beautiful. Slower, slower, slow, slow, slow. Yeah, we don't want to bounce down through anything. You're just crawling right over these beautifully. Okay, folks, there's a driver for you. She knows how to handle this gnar out here. Okay, Kat. Okay, let's see if you can get the brake over here right. See, it's getting close. Runs it up on there. That's good. We still had several inches under the differential. So, Kulski. That's sort of Russian. Okay, Katya's going to negotiate these steps. They're not terribly challenging. Unless you haven't done this kind of thing before. That's probably scary. But now I want you to look ahead. So do you see the line there? It's pretty clear. On the left, and then towards the top, make a right. Okay, Katya's going to take this. So we discussed it, and to the left, stay left, and then right, and she went right, and now she makes a sharp left again. What do you think, folks? Isn't that cool? Okay, most of you looking at this are not going to think it's cool, but that was really cool. She did a great job, navigated it beautifully. This is kind of gnarly stuff, you know, 4 to 6 inches here and there. Okay, after a hell of a lot of bouncing around, and Katya's pretty tired, we decided the Kokopelli Trail at this point goes down Westwater Road. And this is a much needed relief from bouncing around. LaSalle Mountains in distance, we're getting closer. Remember, leg 3 of the Kokopelli Trail for vans is going to go up into the LaSalles, and we have some fun places to show you on leg 3, but we can't go up there until the snow comes, melts back quite a bit. And it's mid-April now, and I'm hoping mid-May we can finish that leg down into Moab and have a really nice dinner. Probably one of our favorite places, like Pasta J's. So we're looking forward to that. So now it's, it was pretty slow going out there from Westwater turnoff to here. So we're going to have lunch down at Westwater, which is on the Colorado River. And you'll get to see that. It's not quite on the Kokopelli Trail, but it's a little shoot off to one side that's worth taking. Okay, we're coming up on the Colorado River at the Westwater Landing. There's a group campsite here, and I'm not sure, there must be individual campsites here also. They probably let you camp, like right here, this on the left. It could be a picnic site, but toilets, garbage, good place to dump garbage. And let's just find a spot to park. Underneath the trees are going to be taken. Okay, picnic here, and let's get a little closer so that Katya could use the microphone and we get some benefit from the microphone. Okay, talk loudly, Kat, because you're on the other side of the microphone.
Very loudly. So those are the Greek heroes. The meat I bought at Fish's Market in Grand Junction, and I warmed everything up in our 12-volt oven.
The Road Pro.
And accompanied it with baba ganoush that I made last night, eggplant spread, some olives, onions, and we're gonna pair it with Greek wine.
And I also want to say that in a few days is our 30th anniversary of me proposing to her in front of the Parthenon in Athens. And then for the following week, I rented a 32-foot Beneteau sailboat and taught her how to sail to the Greek islands. And she's a pretty good sailor now. She sailed San Francisco Bay and other places. And now she's learning off-roading. And she's doing a really good job. Gets a little nervous at times, but doing a really great job. Okay, we're dropping down to a wash. And, this is where you can have both ends stuck on the dirt. The big issue with railroads is when you're running along beside them, the road usually is pretty good. But when they go on a trestle across a wash or a creek or something, then we're going to be, having to go through the wash of the creek. The railroad's not pleased about having us off-roading down the railroad, and the consequences could be significant anyway. So this is pretty easy skeezy so far. Let's see what happens ahead of us. Okay, we've been following a power line, and this is on the right there. You see the Kokopelli symbol. We're on the trail, and it was pretty easy. But now we got little ledges, easy stuff. But other than dropping into that wash, a longer wheelbase vehicle can do it. The wash at the beginning, it would be best to be lifted or short, one or the other. Okay, we're going left, I think. But hold on a second.
Yeah, let's check it out.
We got to cross that wash, it looks like. Yeah, let's check this out. Prairie, a lot of prairie. Easy driving. Kat's very happy about being out of the junipers and the ledges for a while, taking a break. So the next goal is to go to Cisco and get ice cream. And I'll show you some of their artwork there. Cisco's a strange little town, but I'll explain that when we get there. Yeah, stay to the left and then try to hit this hill at an angle a little bit. It'll help us get up it. Hill. It's a little, you know,
drop.
Gutter. Yeah, and a little left. Okay, now stay to the left. Start sharp left. And we'll avoid most of this hole here. Okay, that's good. Now just drop it slowly, of course. In case we left, more right, I'm sorry. More right. Not too sharp. Straight ahead. See, that was a pretty good sized drop. Nice job. We just passed an intersection back there that dropped down towards the river, and then we got on this pavement. And Kokopelli goes that direction. Okay, we're coming into Cisco. Mostly this place is a junkyard. There is a tiny artist colony, and I think 3 people live here. It was more of a town for oil and gas and probably something else, but everybody's moved on. Doesn't have a water supply. They have to truck in the water, and it's pretty bleak. But it was in a couple of episodes in the movie Thelma and Louise. And if you've seen our Schaefer Trail switchback, we were at the final scene of Thelma and Louise was shot, where the girls go over a cliff in their convertible. We got prairie dogs around here. They're so cute. Yeah, they're running around all over the place. So there's a variety of old junked up cars, but there's a little store here, Buzzard's Roost, and we're going to go there, and I want an ice cream. So there's some artsy stuff ahead of us, or Buzzard's Belly, not Buzzard's Roost. Should be more prairie dog roost. Anyway, yeah, there's some little artsy things sort of there. A little bomb and a car with its nose in the dirt. I'm not sure this is open, but
Check it out. Open. She's open.
She's open?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this is actually a Harvest Host, and I think one of those other ones like that, location. It's pretty bleak, but people seem to like it for whatever reason. Buzzard's Belly is a pretty eccentric place. It's the only business in Cisco. Nothing else remains. Gas station and all that doesn't remain. But there's, artwork all around, kind of sometimes a little bit strange, and some shade to get out of the heat of the sun during the summer. Of course, it gets really toasty out here. But it's the old general store that served the folks who used to live here years ago. And she's got it full of stuff in here. But there is an ice cream counter right there by Katya, and that's where I'm headed. Yeah, it's a beauty, isn't it? I'm pretty sure this was the old gas station featured in Thelma and Louise back in the 70s. There was a couple of other scenes out here. I think there was some toilets in the back of one. So they shot a couple of scenes in lovely Cisco. Anyway, this is sort of an artsy spot coming up here. Pretty strange place, actually. Don't know who tries to live there, if anybody. Okay, now we're going back on the road down to our version of the Kokopelli Trail. We're going to try to survive the prairie dogs. These are van-eating prairie dogs, very famous. Okay, more antelope. Pretty, aren't they? We like antelope. They're very elegant. They're very pretty. They're not very friendly. They kind of run away because they get hunted, unfortunately, out here. But anyway, we just saw a bald eagle also, by the way. But we couldn't catch that on camera either. Well, it was nice being on pavement for a while, but it's a short amount. But now we're back on the gnarly area, and this is the road that'll take us out to State Route 128, which is pavement, of course. It's a major route into, not the major route into Moab, but it is a well-known, very scenic route into Moab from the east. Okay, there's quite a drop into this wash. Go ahead, Kat, move up towards us so we can get a look at it. Hopefully this isn't impossible, but it is very, very steep. Very, very steep. Okay, I'm going to get out and take a look. This is probably too steep for a van and too narrow at the bottom for a van, but we'll soon see. So this is going to be almost free fall in the van. I mean, it's really, really steep. Might as well use M1. Okay, you guys ready? I'm not sure I am, but so I don't think we're going to high center here. Oops, back it up. Oh, I forgot to put it in mud ruts. When it got turned off, it wasn't in mud ruts. This is not good. Okay. Here, go on. Okay, now it's in mud ruts. This is a bad position to be in. I needed that momentum to get up this steep slope. Yeah, I needed that momentum, but it didn't stay in mud ruts mode.
It didn't?
No. So now it's in mud ruts, but I'm stuck, very stuck here. We don't have a winch. Traction boards won't matter. I don't think. We could try them. Really wish I had a winch and a dead man out there. That would have been best. We may be very stuck. But I gotta get out and take a look at the situation. Ugh. The bike rack is dug in, and it's holding that rear passenger wheel off the ground. We laid out the traction boards. We only have 2. I guess 4 would be nice. I have it in mud ruts mode, and I'm going to try. Did it. Whoa. Okay, the message is here that don't leave the bike rack on. Well, after that little incident, we're very happy to be on State Route 128 and headed down towards the Colorado River to look for a camp. Off to our right, and soon straight ahead when we make this little corner, is Dome Plateau. And that's where we're going tomorrow to finish up the second leg, hopefully. So we certainly are pushing the limit, taking a van on the Kokopelli Trail. So the trail itself is down closer to the river, which is ahead of us. And that is the motorized route around some single track by the river that we can't go on. Okay, now we're getting off of State Route 128, and we're heading up into, or onto Dome Plateau. So I expect the road to be pretty easy for most of it, but then it's going to get hairy towards the end. So we may end up having to come back out this way. There's a good chance that vans can't make the steps, the ledges, and so forth on the other end, where the Bronco Rodeo folks train new Bronco riders on technical gnar. So we had a nice night dispersed camping, and the weather's pretty warm here, mid-April. Hopefully the wildflowers will start coming out, but it doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like we got enough rain yet for that. But the August monsoons could change that. So this road's called Owl Draw Road that takes us up onto Dome Plateau. And as you can see, these ledges are just a little bit bouncy, but nothing burgers compared to what we're used to. Okay, the road takes a big drop here ahead. You can see this kind of a line there where you see the rock and then nothing. And that's because there's maybe big ledges under it. So Kat, if you can just go to the left there, and let's just take a look. From the nice thing about having a van, a little more. Keep going, keep going. Oh, this looks pretty good. So yeah, just keep your tire on that left berm and let it roll over these rocks on the right. And it's just ramped down there nicely. Okay, good. Cut it to the right. Keep going, just keep going. Not too slow. Yeah, it gets scary, but if you keep moving, you got a much better chance to keep moving. Hey, this is kind of attractive down in here. Those prairies out there are, really boring, but this is certainly much more interesting down in here. So we're down in a wash, this Owl Draw, and there's a few crossings, slightly gnarly, nothing particularly technical. And if you've got this far on a Kokopelli for vans route, you're in good shape. You can easily navigate this. Yeah, really hug that side.
Should we get the window mirrors?
Not yet, but think about it, because I'd like you to be able to see. It's looking good. Looking good. We're passing a group from Ford Bronco Off-Rodeo, and Ford Bronco Off-Rodeo will teach people how to drive their new rigs on gnar like this. And the instructor that we passed, she told me that these ledges are some of the hardest on this route. Although later on, I strongly disagreed with her. I thought these were pretty easy, but whatever. She got to show them that how a transit approaches such ledges. Well, it was fun to show the Bronco folks how to do it. There was their instructor was back there. Katya said the instructor was commenting on my technique for getting up through here. The technique is don't wipe out your engine, transmission, or differential. Yeah, we haven't even lifted this thing yet. It's kind of hard to imagine if we had another inch what it would be. But see, the bike rack isn't dragging at all in this. So if somebody with a 148 can do this quite easily. The breakover, all of that, that 148-inch van, wheelbase van, will easily do this. But certainly you want to be lifted. It just makes life so much easier. So this is still Owl Draw. Or Owl Draw Road anyway. We're not really in a draw right now, a little canyon. Draw means like little canyon. If you haven't heard that term before, it's an old one.
No.
But for me, there's nothing scary here at all. Katya's certainly concerned. She just doesn't want to drive this little part. Here's an opportunity to show you. Okay, so they've come along, BLM's come along here and graded these rocks down. So these ledges aren't as high anymore. And that's what those, ridges or whatever, rips into the sandstone are. So here's a pretty good size ledge right here. And we may drag our nose here. Let's see if, yep, just lifting it right up nice. We're still mud ruts, by the way. Which is almost four-wheel drive. Yeah, you guys don't mind if I cheat, do you? Like go around this way and go up this side.
I don't mind at all.
Like Katya doesn't mind. She wants me to cheat. Now this is really fun. If you got enough testosterone, this is really fun. And girls have testosterone, don't they, at least sometimes?
Yeah, I have a lot.
Okay, there's a couple of cabins here that were part of an old uranium mine up here in the plateau. And the Bronco off-roader instructor said that there's really nothing challenging after these cabins. There's a couple of little ledges, but nothing else. So a lot of the off-roaders are pulling over here and showing you the cabins, intimately, but I just don't have that much interest in broken down old mining cabins. I grew up in New Almaden, California, Santa Cruz Mountains, south of San Jose, and it was the world's largest cinnabar ore, mercury, mine, not the world's largest, North America's largest, and named after Almaden, Spain mines. So I've seen lots of this. The town I grew up in was a ghost town only a few years before I was born. And I was born just after the dinosaurs died off. Unfortunately, we could still see their carcasses laying around, but there was nothing left alive. Very sad. Okay, we're dropping down some ledges here. And hopefully we don't have to scrape bottom to get through this. Ah, fooled you! This wash crossing isn't really tricky. It's a really nothing burger again. Okay, I think we're going left here. There is a little mining road going to the right. So you could take these, if you got the time, you could take these little roads off and just see where they go. And could be some good camping sites back there. It might be an old mine. Uranium mines aren't particularly interesting compared to gold and silver, the metal mines. And of course, the nice thing about camping back here is the next night you'll be glowing in the dark. That's the benefit of uranium country. Okay, we got up here ways, we're making a left. And Katya's nervous about these kind of things. The unknown. So put it in M1, best we can do for lowering ourselves down. Oh, look at this. This is cool down here. So it is a little technical. You do kind of have to watch the lines a bit. There's a rock there I don't like. So I'm going to roll it with my right wheel. And the van's going to tip a bit, but it's not going to be a problem. Now when it starts tipping, I'll give you kids a hint. Keep moving. If it really starts tipping over much, you want to keep moving, so it doesn't actually roll over and you can scratch a belly, because that's really bad out here. Getting rescued out here is very, very expensive. There are plenty of folks in Moab who specialize in that, and can rescue the vehicle. Okay, so mud ruts mode isn't normally what I would use for dropping straight down a slick rock slope. And this is very steep, very steep. We're almost certainly going to dig our nose in here. But let's see what we can do. Again, sometimes I like to use a little speed at just key points. Okay, the transit sensor is not happy about this. The bike rack in the back is unhappy about this. But we've got this, okay? Nobody panic. Nobody panic. Ah, we're gonna die. We're gonna die. Look. Ah, we're gonna die. Ah, we're gonna die. This is terrible. Hey, we did it. We're coming up in some really cool cliff country. Always exciting. And I think there's a thing called Cave Spring back here someplace. I don't know exactly where it is. Not sure it's going to have a sign. Okay, so this goes way up there. But what we're interested in is what's here. Now, I don't know if this is the official cave spring or not. And there's no water out here for sure. But there is green grass. Oh wow, this is huge in here. Huge. Yeah, it's a big room in here. Okay, now that my eyes are, okay, there's no spring in here for sure. But it is, you know, kind of interesting. Here's a big hole in the roof.
Or some ATVs came in here.
Yeah, the ATV tracks all over the place here. So what do we have up there? Just a dome probably. Yeah, look at that. Wow. And, oh, what a beautiful van. Look at that. So we just encountered some deeper sand, and we put mud ruts through it and climbed right up. And there's a climb ahead of us, but it looks like it's mostly slick rock. But with when you're climbing in the deeper sand, not this little stuff here, you really want to get some speed up. So let's see what we've got coming up here. Looks like we got a combination of things happening.
Yeah, ledges of sand.
Okay. Yeah, give it a little speed. Yeah, give it some speed for sure. More power. More power. Steady pedal. Steady. Always steady. Steady. More power. Steady pedal. More power. You don't drop off. That's okay. Good. That's good for you.
Okay, like any of those are scary.
Yeah, well, you're getting used to it. Drop off this slow. Okay, drop it down slow. Nice. And straight. So that rock that's kind of in where the tread should go, that's not going to bother us. But keep it closer to the wheels instead of the middle of the van, of course. Okay, the longer transits can do this, but obviously you have to have all-terrain wheels. You can't use stock wheels here. And you have to have all-terrain tires.
Go where?
I would go to the right, huh? Wasn't paying that much attention, but yeah, looks good. So this ridge, we just pick our way along. Okay, here's a good steep one. Actually, we passed a really steep spot back there, but there's a workaround, fortunately. But this is nice and steep. We're in mud ruts, and here's this narrow little spot here. Let's see how we do. Okay, I want to give it some gas. I want to tow that hitch up with us. Nice, easy. Okay, here's a wash crossing from hell. Obviously, our only option is the left. It's steep. We've got it in mud ruts. I'm going to have to put my left tires right on that mud bank berm. And keep a nice steady pedal and power over those. So this is a little harder in this situation. But see, steady pedal. Okay, we're getting into some deep shit here. This may not be doable, or we may have to try to make a little ramp with rocks. But see those ledges ahead of us? That's batshit crazy stuff for a van. And we're just hoping that when we get down in here, we're going to be able to find a workaround for this van and let the Jeepers and those guys who want to go up that crazy stuff do their thing. Okay, we're gonna scout this. Okay, I thought I've done some scary hard driving in my life. Man, I don't think I've ever done anything like this. Mud ruts. Okay, Transit, climb like a goat. Come on, baby. Jump around and climb like a goat. And don't hit the damn juniper. Okay. Yikes. Yikes. Well, what am I gonna do? Okay, now I have got to keep this thing from rolling. And this is going to be a super hard trick. And that's just gonna happen fast. Yikes. Hopefully we don't have too much damage from that juniper. Come on, we can do it. You can do it. Woohoo, horse. We did it. We did it. I'm sorry about the swearing, but I'll tell you, that's a really, really big deal. Really big deal. Okay, now to look for damage. Okay, here's a wash. We haven't shown you every wash. There's been other technical parts of this that are kind of routine, so I know I probably edited them out just because There's so many tricky places along here. I'm going to put my engine right down over those like that. Okay, that's just a body hit. And no, we don't have the rock bars. Okay, drop him carefully. Okay, nothing noisy happening. That's always encouraging. Really hard, sharp turn here. And Transit's turn great. That's not good, but I didn't have a choice. So our last two vans, we drove them to about 300,000 miles and sold them for parts. So we don't exactly intend to keep this in pristine condition for resale. When we get done, all $58,000 worth is going to be over with. But that we kept that last two 25 years. So I'm hoping the Transit makes it at least till 20. Okay. Back to prairie type driving. Okay, for all the work, it's beautiful there. Somewhere up there is an arch. People hike up to it. Getting so beat up I don't feel like hiking anywhere. Getting back to camp would be nice. Okay, here's another wash from hell. Really super tricky. Really, really super tricky. Got it? Okay, just came down some really nasty shit. Really nasty. And the van did hit ground there. By the way, it turned itself there. I didn't. And now we got to go up this critter. And I think I see a line right in the middle. Who's going up this critter one way or another? Okay, that was a hard way for sure. At least the windshield wipers worked, huh? I knew it'd be hard here, and it definitely is. So we got a wide spot. We're going to stop for trail damage. Okay, down there's the Colorado River, the Dewey Bridge, and we just have to live long enough to get there. And that's that's a question. There was really no good. Well, maybe to the left was better. Anyway, we're on the right. So this area is called the Steps, and I've been pretty worried about it. As in, this is what I think about at night, worrying about going down the steps. But it's nice to at least see civilization coming at us. If it's no worse than this all the way back down to the highway, to Highway 128, I'll be delighted. Okay, we're gonna have to drop into that hole, and we are so close to the end. And then we get this amazing gnar, which is known as the Steps. And I just want to get this over with without tipping the van over here. Really don't want to tip the van over here. So you not only have to deal with the 3D of the road, we also have these damn junipers, which are dead set on killing us. Okay. You're rubbing the body a little there. So far we don't see any significant body damage for this whole escapade. So I would say this is more of a ramp than a step. So I'm going to put a wheel in each one of those and drop off this ledge. That's attractive over there, but I'm here, and I don't think I'm going backwards. So we may have, wish we had little rock thingies on the sides. It's times like this when you wish you had kidney belts. Okay, there's a little left, but we made that. Okay. Okay, Ford Transit sensors, would you mind just shutting up? See what you're so upset about. When it really gets hairy, quite often you aren't making any sense at all, or censoring at all. The end of the trail. State Route 128. My underwear are soaked. Our bodies are beat. We have done an amazing adventure in a van. Amazing adventure. And we do not feel like doing that again. It was a hell of a ride for sure. So we do have a little bumper damage down there, but I don't see anything leaking. Everything looks fine. We've got some scratches, of course, up here. We took off that juniper. The juniper kept us from rolling down the hill. So in that respect, I kind of like that juniper. But at the same time, we picked up a few scrapes. And there's, one guy calls them Colorado pinstripes all over the place here. The rack goes for this sort of thing. I gotta take it off. I'm feeling kind of lazy about taking it off because it isn't easy. It's heavy, but it comes off, that's for sure. We aren't doing that again. without, well, we're not doing that trail again, but we're going to probably go find some trouble somewhere else. Just wow. Kat, and your driving was amazing. Absolutely amazing. Yeah, I know I took it through the rough parts a few places, but you did a heck of a lot of really challenging stuff. Really challenging. Okay, Dewey Bridge. So the Kokopelli Trail comes down through all that stuff that we did, and it makes a left down here, down in that direction, and curls up to near Top of the World and Rose Garden, down Rose Garden Hill, and we will pick it up on Lake 3 by going up, what's it called? Oh, Onion Creek Canyon, which is really beautiful. But there's no way in hell we're doing Top of the World and Rose Garden on Lake 3. So we're going over and camping on the Upper Onion Creek campground. We got a nice little spot there. We're gonna camp there tonight and be able to show you, take the drone up and I'll be able to show you the terrain that we'll be going through in the beginning of leg 3 of the Kokopelli Trail for vans. That's assuming after this anybody can even imagine doing the Kokopelli Trail for vans. There must be some stud out there with too much testosterone who just really has to do it.
I'm making coals on our solo stove, and then when the coals got ready and not as hot, but hot enough to cook beef Wellingtons that I have in those small baking dishes by stub, and I'm gonna grill the lettuce and tomatoes really lightly so they have a little burnt crispness on them, but still salad, and mix it up with Parmesan cheese, little lemon juice, and olive oil. We'll show you how it will turn out. So I want to show you how I put the baking dishes, stub baking dishes with beef Wellington in the coals and with some coals on the top. And we're gonna wait about 25 minutes.
Okay, it looks like maybe this creation was in the stove a little bit too long.
Maybe.
And it's that, or we're out here in uranium country, and it's gone nuclear, and there'll be a mushroom-shaped cloud, and the campground will get wiped out, and all that stuff. Anyway, this is a solo stove. They have a lot of different sizes. We took this kind of medium one called the Bonfire, and it packs very nicely in the back of our van. And in the morning we'll dump out the ashes, clean it up a bit, and put it back in its bag and put it back in the van.
Well, the meat didn't burn.
Okay, let's check out the situation here.
So we're taking what survived from the inside the crust.
I wouldn't mind trying a little crust. So.
Okay.
So beef Wellington out here kind of in the middle of nowhere, Castle Valley, Utah.
Burnt crust.
Yeah, I'll try some of that burnt crust.
Right.
It's a bit overdone, but you know, it's sort of like a burnt potato, isn't it?
It's experimenting. Next time I'll know that it has to be there much less.
Yeah, it's quite an experiment. There's going to be a lot of trial and error with everything we're doing. So Katya probably already explained to you that the tomatoes and the lettuce were grilled, which is they're lightly grilled. So it's that's an experiment also. So for context, where are we? We have in the distance, let's zoom, castles, and that's why they call this Castle Valley. And it's golden hour, which is like a special time in Castle Valley. So LaSalle's there in the distance. You see all that snow, and we can't really finish up leg 3 of our journey until that snow melts off quite a bit more. But anyway, sort of castles around.